Hey guys, this is David from I am Vanguard here with I guess like a regionals recap. I actually just came back from Chicago about I'm gonna say about 2-3 hours ago. I had to drop everyone off and then just got home, took a shower. I was like, all right, you know what? Let's do my recap before I forget things. So kind of want to do a recap. As you see on this side, this is the deck I play for premium, which is Thavis. It's actually a really pretty fun deck. I If it wasn't the plane flight, I would have tried to see if I can get like at least a 3 and 4 or a 4 and 3 at least as a record. But unfortunately, we did have to leave after round 5, so I couldn't really play it out unfortunately. And then for standard, I did play Leo Odium, which I was doing really well, and there was just so many games I didn't couldn't really get the triggers I needed, or the opponent hit like an over trigger just to kill me. So it was just very unfortunate. But I will kind of start with the standard side before I forget, and then I'll start with and then I'll go along to the premium side. All right, so this is the build I was running for the standard format. So I went X3. I was ranked 124 out of the 480 players. So I mean, I think I did pretty well. I was 1/4 of the ranking. The few games were just very unfortunate. So starting off with the first round, my first round opponent actually made the top 32. He was running a levy dress with broccolis, and he was running a ride line with the Roa token. So he basically used a ride line, get a token, play broccolis, draw a card, push for more damage if the opponent pushes him. If he goes second, so and then he also ran purple tea, which was very nice. So he basically survived the next return because of that, and that was, I think, basically the killer when he went crit on divine skill, and then hits the OT to put it on top of the Vanguard. So I think it was just very unfortunate and very difficult to deal with once that happened. He was at 5 damage. So he only really had one turn to live, and he actually just survived because he was able to recover his cards and just kind of push from there. So unfortunate, but it was. I would say. I think I did what I could. On my perspective of how to beat that deck if I go first. So stuff happens. Obviously, second, I actually played against Albert Huang from WCC. He's actually the person that runs the American side, so pretty cool guy. He played the Batman. Very unfortunate for him that he couldn't hit his combo pieces, and he actually went second. So obviously, he knew his death was coming when I had the Odium turn upcoming. So he knew, and firm handshake. We got to talk. Pretty cool guy. So I'm hopefully planning to communicate with him for maybe possible future content, or just get to talk and get to know him, right? So pretty cool guy. Round three, I did play against Farga. Um, I actually went first against Farga, and I think it was just like a very difficult game for my opponent because that I had so many cards and I just pushed them constantly. The one thing I did is that I definitely stopped triple driving after the Vine's turn, and just start pushing it with the numbers, and then just retiring the cards that he doesn't need or he would need. And then I just kind of control the board state from there. So tough game, but I was able to pull through because I did go first. I did get pretty lucky. Um, Game four, I played against Blankdemeyer. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty scared because Blankdemeyer is kind of like a go first deck, but luckily I went first and I was able to push him before he went into his divine skills. So I did get really lucky on the dice roll on that game, and it's unfortunate for him, but I had to take the game there because I was not gonna lose to a Blankdemeyer deck a second time with this deck. Game five, I played against Levy Dress, another Levy Dress player. I think he was doing really good. I think he was X1 and I was X1. So basically, like from there, it was gonna decide like if we were gonna top or not. And he um barely pulled through from my opinion, because he was running out of resources and I was controlling the board state slowly. So he was at the point that he was gonna lose, but I actually decked out. So I decked out as well, but he hit the crit, so I had to take 2 damage, but I knew I had a heal left. So unfortunate, but it is what it is. And it was Levy Dress, and the Levy Dress deck did go first. So even if I think it was good that I was like fairly matching with the deck. Um, with Odium going second against Levy Dress, so I think I pulled really well. Obviously the Levy Dress deck did break a little bit, but it did recover quick after because that it didn't go second. So I think if I went first, in that matchup, I definitely think I would have won and been X1 throughout the day. And then round 6, I played against Alden. So that was my first time playing against Alden. So surprisingly, no one at our locals plays Alden. So I actually didn't know what the deck did. And then I kind of found out mid game. So I kind of started doing my countermeasures against the deck. And we were at our last few cards of the deck, and I had 3 left. He attacks, and I had 3 triggers left in the deck, and he already drew into all his cards, so he only had 1 card, and he was attacking with his rear guard. So basically, if he pushed enough, I was gonna die. So I had to damage because I only had perfect guards in my hand at the time because I was using my resources relatively well. So I was saving perfect guards and I was resourcing properly. Towards the end, it mattered if I hit a heal trigger or not, which I did because there was a heal trigger, a crit trigger, and I think it was an average wrestler left in the deck. So it was 1/3 of a chance. I was like, all right, well, no guard, and I took the damage. I hit the heal, and he had no choice but to pass turn because I had enough cards for the rest. So I think game 6 was probably my lucky game that I pulled through. And then round 7, I played against the Batman deck. That game was really tough because I actually couldn't even play the game, which I mean that's kind of expected with the deck that is hyper aggro, is what I always say. He hit his pieces. He had everything in his hand. He hit the OT. Like everything happened perfectly for him. So I think, to be fair, that was probably his lucky game throughout the day. I don't think he made top 32 though, because we were both X2s at that point. So I don't like him winning. Probably didn't really change the outcome for him. Like unfortunate for him. I think if I won, I had a better tiebreaker than he did. So I might have got close. To the top 32, I think I would have been like 36 or 37 or something in that ranking if I did win that game as an X2. So I might have been one of those players that maybe luckily got pushed in, but I don't think so. I was kind of a little far, so I think X2s were really hard to survive. So yeah, that was my recap for standard. And I'll go on to premium. Alright, so this is my main deck for the premium Aquaforce deck I was playing. I'll be honest, I think I had a really good run with this deck today. Yesterday, I guess, 1 o'clock on my side. I actually didn't brick the whole game, so I actually called that a win, my opinion with this deck, because I have seen so many people brick today, and I guess they were just being very aggressive, or they were trying to get pieces, so they were mulliganing really hard. I just kept it simple. I just make sure I had a 1 turn and 3. My first game I played against Neonectars. I actually didn't really get to see what that deck did, because the opponent had 1 turn Katrina, and I actually just killed him for the rest of the game. So basically he bricked 2 times, and then on the third G assist, on the third G assist, he got to ride, and he got to Katrina, but I think the damage difference was already too big. I actually was not able to get Thavis because I actually made a misplay earlier because It was my first game. I guess I was like not really thinking correctly, so I actually put him on the board and forgot to search Thavis. But luckily, my opponent did break, and it's what it is, right? So I basically just wrote into Ripple and then the V Thavis, and I basically played V Premium in a way against him. So it's and he was on stuck on grade 2, so very unfortunate game for him. So we take those, right? Because I get sacked and I get unlucky. So yeah, just firm handshake and just walk away. But yeah, overall, I just kind of played the game how I was supposed to without getting grade stuck. First game, game two, I actually put against Fuzzy Paradox. Pretty cool guy. We were just like, oh, I mean, he was like, oh no, we have to play game two. It's like, hey, don't worry, man. I wanted to play you, so we got to play the game. He was playing Shiranui. He got to ride his crest, so it was tough. So I decided to try a gamble against Fuzzy. I just dropped my cards out, like including triggers, and just tried to push him. Unfortunately, he did have the heal triggers in his hand. I think that he got pushed really hard, but like luckily he had the two heals and he was able to survive and just kill me with Rene. So unfortunate, and yeah, it was a very good game though. I think it was a very close game because he was saying that if he didn't happen to draw into one of his heal triggers, he was not able to guard one of my all out attacks. So, but yeah, I mean it was pretty solid. I mean I have a pretty good idea on the Shiranui matchup, so I usually just gamble it or just kind of see how it goes. If usually against the Shiranui matchup, I actually prefer to go second, interestingly, because I want the quick shield and the guardian ticket for the opponent to not Rene me for the turn and then just push him back. So yeah, so it's a pretty fun game. Game three, I played against Angel Feathers. No geese, just regular Angel Feathers. So I actually didn't know what the newer Angel Feather cards did. But my opponent, I think he was also very new to premium, so he was taking his time a little bit. We actually almost ran into time. Luckily, I actually stayed in control the whole game. I went first, and I had all my resources ready. I had another Savis in hand, so I was actually ready to go into Valencia or Megiddo, which I just went into Megiddo. My opponent bricked. G assisted, and he did not know this matchup. So I just went into Megiddo and well, actually no, sorry. I went to Valencia and then I just multi attacked him. So yeah, it was a tough matchup for my opponent. Especially like when he didn't know what some of my cards did. So, but I definitely think that I was in control most of the time. Because that I knew kind of what Angel Feathers did, and I just made sure I kept in track of power. I stayed on low damage. Because technically, I can actually play him without the damage. I would just ride into strides that don't require it. So pretty easy game. Let's see. I played against. I think I played against Whiskey. That was their Bushiroad name, and I was like, "Yo, who's Whiskey? That's a cool name." And I was like, "That's my favorite drink." So yeah, Whiskey. Played Crest, Night Rose. Did get the Crest, and drew into Honolulu early. So unfortunately, I could not do what I was wanting to do with the deck. Because of the Honolulu. And then obviously Grand Blues kind of took control after that. So tough game. And then lastly, before I dropped, I played against Shiranui. Again, luckily they didn't ride to Crest. And honestly, it was a really close game in my opinion. I think the opponent did get slightly lucky. The fact that I was not able to like get triggers or like able to push him a little harder because he did heal out of his situation as well. So I went in. I actually speeded into going to Megiddo. So I just kind of tried to push him. I think my opponent had like two cards left in deck. by the time I was done with Makito. And honestly, I only had a couple cards left, so I was actually hoping to draw into the Legion card. Um, but I mean, unfortunately, like he was the last card in the deck, and I decked out. Um, but if I didn't deck out and drew into the Legion, I think I would have actually won that game. To be honest, I think it was just yeah, it just didn't work in my favor. So, but I definitely had him down, and I think it was a pretty good game, on my opinion. Um, I think for standard, I didn't really think of anything that I should change like by a lot. There was some cards I can consider, but I think the new cards are just gonna support it to make it better. So I don't think I really have to change standard as much, to be honest, at the moment. And I don't think I will be going to any major tournaments until the fall, possibly, or maybe the summer, depending. So I definitely don't think I will be playing Odium for a while after that. But premium, I do want to play a little bit more. I feel like that there's so much potential playing premium, and I just saw like how fun it is. So I think I will kind of investigate more. Um, I would say I need. I think I might switch up the stride lines a little bit just to kind of play in my favor and just see what is more important and kind of switch up the lineup and just see how it works. Because there were a lot of scenarios of I should have done this, I should have done that type of scenario. So I think, yeah, I think I want to play around with it a little more and see what I like. I would definitely say a lot of the cards I am playing is pretty good and I do like it. So there isn't really going to be too much of a space change. I just have to figure out what to make for what. Unfortunately, like I'm not a premium expert at the moment, so I would definitely say there's a lot more things to play around with premium and kind of know your matchups to be able to be a little successful. I would say I might switch off the main deck a little bit and then kind of switch up the stride line because there was a couple things I think would have helped on the stride situation. But overall recap, I definitely think I did a lot better for standard at least. This was my second regionals after like 4 or 5 years, I believe. So I think it was good. I definitely think I am getting a little better with some of the matchups, like understanding, and then best of one as well. Because I'm so used to kind of playing best 2 out of 3 as well. So yeah, but best of one standard. I think standard honestly you just gotta play a really good deck is how I feel, or play a deck that's like really high roll is what I believe. Just because like that's kind of what I've been seeing with the eyes is like you play a top tier deck, you win is standard. I think premium I am gonna play a little bit more just because I feel like that there is more potential with premium is what I discovered, and I think like I'll have a better chance learning premium and kind of seeing what I want to do in the format. So looking forward to it. I am working towards like decks in premium now that been. I mean, I've been kind of looking for cards. It's been really hard to find spikes. So I am gonna try this deck out and see how it goes. I think I should be able to finish up the deck. Because I am kind of finalizing what I need and what I can order. So but yeah, overall, I think it was great. Chicago, I might visit more often as a BCS just because like I felt like there was so much potential, and a lot of the Vanguard tubers were there, like Fuzzy Paradox, Commander Jaime, Outer Orange. Let's see, Deck Flare was there as well. And obviously me and Domino Paris were there. There was like other people that like were content creators, that was there, which was really cool. So I definitely think that I would. Chicago might be a place I might try to visit more often as a BCS location. Plus, I mean, I was born in Chicago. I think so. It is kind of valid. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure you guys comment, like, subscribe, and also make sure you guys order items from JP Curtain Calls using my code VG, or sorry, AMVG lowercase, and make sure you guys if you guys are in the Philippines, make sure you guys check out Blue 52. as well. Is the coffee shop in the Philippines, and that's pretty much it.